Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. A Florida man is a suspect in a felony pursuit that began in the national park, traveled through the Morongo Basin, and ended on the far side of Sheephole Valley Wilderness. On Tuesday at around 10 a.m., park rangers report that they attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a Nissan with no plates driving on the wrong side of the road within the bounds of Joshua Tree National Park. The driver of the vehicle was later identified as Daniel Commander, a 47-year-old resident of Florida. The suspect refused to pull over, which is considered a felony failure to yield. Park rangers requested assistance from the county sheriff's office, and deputies joined the pursuit. The suspect left the national park, driving north on Park Avenue, then went east on Highway 62, passing through Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, and the Sheephole Valley Wilderness, before heading south on Route 177. Deputies say that Commander exceeded 100 miles per hour during the pursuit and that high winds prevented the use of helicopters. Deputies used a pursuit intervention technique in which a patrol car physically impacts the suspect's car at a slow speed to force Commander to stop driving. Deputies say that after he stopped, Commander refused to exit the vehicle, so deputies broke the car's windows, removed him, and arrested him. Commander received minor cuts from the broken glass. Daniel Commander was arrested for investigation into felony evasion and felony failure to yield and booked into the Morongo Basin Jail with bail set at $250,000. A damaged fire hydrant sprayed water for 15 minutes in 29 Palms after it was damaged by a driver suspected of DUI. On Tuesday, sheriff's deputies responded to a call of a damaged fire hydrant and spraying water in the 72,500 block of 29 Palms Highway near the Motel 6 at around 12:45 a.m. Deputies determined that a guest of the hotel, identified as Jason Kaylor, a 36-year-old resident of 29 Palms, had backed his vehicle into the fire hydrant, knocking it over. Deputies say that Kaylor was intoxicated while behind the wheel during the collision. Water ran out of the fire hydrant for approximately 15 minutes before City Works arrived and turned it off. Jason Kaylor was arrested for DUI and site released to a responsible party. To further develop the city's general plan, 29 Palms is hosting another public workshop tonight to instill an equity and social justice element. Reporter Heather Clisby has details about tonight's workshop.
With an eye on equity for all, the City of 29 Palms is asking residents to attend an equity and social justice workshop tonight, January 12th from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. The evening will focus on equal access to food, housing, education, healthcare, transportation, and public services. Results will be considered and possibly implemented into the city's general plan. The workshop will take place at Patriotic Hall, 5885 Lucky Avenue in 29 Palms. For more info, contact City Manager Frank Lucchino at 760-367-6799, extension 1004. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Heather Clisby.
The 29 Palms Historical Society is continuing its Old Schoolhouse lecture series, and the first talk of 2023 is tomorrow. Online news editor Robert Hayden joins us with the story.
If you've ever wondered what it takes to manage the cultural and historical resources in one of our many national parks and preserves, the Old Schoolhouse Museum will be hosting a talk and presentation by Los Angeles native David Nichols. Nichols has been working in the field of archaeology since 1990 and has been spending the second half of his career in projects covering all of California, including working in the Mojave National Preserve for the past 22 years. The presentation and talk takes place tomorrow, January 13th at 7 p.m. The presentation will discuss managing natural and cultural resources in the preserve and is sponsored by the Desert Institute at Joshua Tree National Park and the 29 Palms Historical Society. The cost is $5 at the door and will be at the Old Schoolhouse Museum at 6760 National Park Drive. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, faith leaders in 29 Palms will conduct a prayer bowl featuring a walk of solidarity down Adobe Road on Monday. The theme of this year's event is Together We Can Be the Dream, inspired by the 60th anniversary of Dr. King's iconic I Have a Dream speech. The event will begin at the Little Church of the Desert at 8 a.m., where participants will walk about 1 mile to the Palms Baptist Church, with arrival expected by 9 a.m. At Palms Baptist Church, welcoming and closing remarks will be delivered to Leighton Matthews, and the event will feature words from faith leaders from across the desert, including Pastor David Squires, Bishop Perry Ford, Pastor Mike Maddy, and Reverend Don Thursby. A brown bag lunch will be provided to all attendees at the end of the program. A new improv comedy group will make Theater 29 their home, offering workshops and live performances. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas shines a spotlight on this dynamic group.
Theater 29 has reformed and reset their highly successful improvisational theater program with a new format and new leadership. Under the experienced guidance of co-directors Graham Cooley and Jericho McNeltier, the rotating players will feature core players Cooley and McNeltier, joined by Ben Bees and Charles Harvey, with Leon McNeltier as the troupe's host and manager. The rotating players will be the resident improv troupe for Theater 29, but will also be performing at other venues throughout Southern California. Educational workshops will be held the third Saturday of every month from 2 to 4 p.m. starting January 21st for a $5 fee. Pre-registration is available at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
Director, actor, and local innovator Abe Daniels will be the guest on the Z107.7 Up Close show with Gary Daigneault this Friday at 10 a.m. Daniels will chronicle his journey to the desert, the Windwalker's Medicine Wheel, his creation of the Joshua Tree Summer Theater, and reinvigoration of Groves Theater in Morongo Valley, and so much more. Call in live and meet Abe Daniels on the Z107.7 Up Close show, live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then as a podcast on Z107.7fm.com. And finally, it may not look like it right now, but spring will be here before you know it, with Little League practice registration already opening up. Robert Hayden pitches us this story right across the plate.
29 Palms Little League is officially open for registration. Boys and girls aged 4 to 16 can sign up for baseball and softball, and practice starts in March with opening ceremonies on Saturday, April 1st. Most practices and games will take place at Lucky Park in 29 Palms, and you can register now to save a few bucks. Just head to 29pll.com to sign up. Register early for $75. Late registration fees start on February 1st. You can see this story on our website for links to the 29 Palms Little League website, as well as their Facebook page. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.